Government of national unity even stronger and united. Government launches Women National Economic Empowerment Council. Good evening, I am Nasa Kingu. Just a reminder, you can also follow us live via our YouTube channel, TBC Online, and also get all the latest news through our Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter pages at TBC Online. The President of Zanzibar, Dr. Hussein Ali Mwinyi, who is also the National Vice Chairperson for CCM, has met and held talks with ACT Wazalendo top leaders, including the Chairman of ACT Wazalendo, Juma Haji Duni, the Vice Chairperson of the party, who is also the first Vice President in Zanzibar, Othman Masoud Othman, and Zito Kabwe. Apart from agreeing to create conducive environment for political parties in the island, the leaders of both parties have agreed to set aside an agreed date to launch a special committee which will be made up by members of both parties to start discussing and later come up with an implementation plan of the report released by the special team formed during the Forum on Multi-Party Democracy in Zanzibar, which discussed the specific issues regarding the island. The meeting was held at the State House in Zanzibar earlier today. Vice President Dr. Philip Mpango has directed the road contractors assigned to construct the Mianzi to Ngaramtoni Road to give priority to the qualified local residents when offering jobs. He gave the directive in Arumeru District, Arusha Region, while laying a foundation stone for the construction of the 18-kilometer road.
Ninawaomba sana muendelee kujitoa kuwahudumia wagonjwa.
I urge you all health workers in the hospital, but also doctors and health workers in general in the country to continue providing service to patients, especially those who come to emergency unit. Some of them came here while unconscious. You should treat them with love. When someone is not conscious, they depend greatly on help and compassion from God. Therefore, you should not treat them poorly. You should all use respectful language, and let me assure you that Tanzanians do cherish your service.
Well, what you've just heard over there is what the Vice President did earlier, whereby the earlier Vice President officiated the Emergency Medical Dispatch EMD building at the Meru District Council Hospital, instructing the medical teams to follow medical professional standards when using the new installed medical equipment. He asserts that the government will continue to improve the health sector to ensure that every Tanzanian across the country receives better health services.
I urge you, the contractor, to provide employment opportunity to youth in Arusha. There are many young people who are capable of construction, and they should be part of infrastructure development of Arusha City.
Kwa vijana waaminifu wenye ari ya kufanya kazi, wapeni nafasi washiriki katika ujenzi wa miundombinu ya jiji la Arusha.
And what we have just heard now, it was the time when the Vice President, Dr. Philip Mpango, directed the road contractors assigned to construct the Mianzi to Ngaramtoni Road to give priority to the qualified local residents when offering jobs. The Minister of Community Development, Gender, Women and Special Groups, Dr. Dorothy Gwajima, has launched Women National Economic Empowerment Council, which aims at empowering women economically. Laura Mohammed has more details.
Dr. Gwajima insists that it is the right time for women in the country to maximize on the potential economic opportunities created by the government.
The ministry has the responsibility to coordinate all the stakeholders so that they can all be in line. This Women Council will unite and economically empower all women in the country. This is the right platform for that. I have great expectations from the leadership of this council.
Na mimi niseme nina matarajio makubwa na uongozi wa jukwaa hili taifa pamoja na viongozi wa mikoa yote.
Furthermore, the Deputy Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Dr. Amun Mpanju, and the Director General of the Legal Service Facility, Lulu Mwanakilala, vow to ensure that all economic activities of the Council are sustainable to uplift women economically and socially.
Muktadha mkubwa na nguvu inapelekwa kwenye kuhakikisha wanawake wanazibaini na kuzijua fursa na kuzifikia.
A lot of efforts are being done in ensuring women can identify opportunities and utilize them. This is part of government's plan to contribute to their own development, their family, and the nation as well.
Kuhakikisha kwamba kuna mazingira wezeshi.
We want to ensure that there is a friendly environment for women, such that the policies, laws, and various systems are in place so that justice prevails. All these processes are going to be sustainable.
Shughuli zote zinakuwa endelevu.
The Minister of Tourism and Heritage of the Government of Zanzibar, Simai Mohammed Said, directs the Zanzibar Tourism Commission to work closely with the organizers of the Zanzibar Food Festival to create conducive environment to attract visitors to the island for the festival, which in turn will provide economic and business opportunities for the residents of Zanzibar. He gave the directive in Zanzibar while launching the second season of the Zanzibar Food Festival, which is expected to start from June 18th to 24th in the island. Rehema Sebabili was there and she has prepared the following report.
Zanzibar Food Festival aims to connect and provide economic and business opportunities for the residents of Zanzibar. Speaking during the launch of the upcoming event, the Minister of Tourism and Heritage, Simai Mohammed Said, said that through the festival, the country will add value to the blue economy and tourism sector of Zanzibar.
Food Festival is an important event. It's relatively new, but it's going to add a lot of value to the tourism industry, but also to the economy. One is it is promoting buy local, consume local, meaning that the seafood that is going to be consumed, it is going to have a direct impact to our local fishermen, promoting the agenda of blue economy, which is part of the CCM manifesto, our political party.
On his part, the Regional Commissioner of the Northern Region of Unguja, Ayub Mohammed Mahmoud, said that the first season of the festival was able to provide 92,000 jobs and a total of 30,000 tons of fish were sold by the fishermen to the hotel's investors on the island.
The purpose and aim of this was to empower the community of North Region Unguja, and why we want to empower them, because their main economic activity is fishing, and they don't get the really benefit on the fishing, so that's why we are bridging the gap between them and the investors of hotels in our region by making a special market, and the fishers, instead of selling their fish to the middlemen, they sell straight to the managers of the hotels, and they'll get really value of the fishing they are doing. So on it, actually, we believe that through this Zanzibar Seafood Festival, the value chain of the fishing program and the tourism, it will really be there, and the fishers will benefit from it economically.
Under our pre-activities, we will be featuring activities such as planting mikoko, as they say, mangroves, supporting the fish market, ngawala racing, canoe racing, right? Entrepreneurship and bicycle activities as well.
This will support the livelihood, the employment opportunities, and it will trickle down the tourism money down to the local people. And that is really what is ecotourism, and it's what is required.
Zanzibar Seafood Festival will take place at Kendwa Beach in Nungwi, Zanzibar, where local fishermen, vendors and entrepreneurs will get opportunities to showcase their trade in culinary delights and other cultural activities. Reporting from Zanzibar, Rehema Sebabili, TBC News.
Thank you very much, Rehema Sebabili, for that report. The Russian ambassador to Tanzania, Andrei Avetissian, says he will continue to attract more Russian investors to invest in Tanzania. He asserts that Tanzania is endowed with various opportunities for trade and investment in areas of agriculture and energy, amongst others. He furthermore commends the government and the leadership of Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan for transparency towards foreign investments and the expansion of the economic relations with other countries.
First of all, happy to say that we have been enjoying friendly and very close relations for decades. Actually, since our country helped Tanzanian people and other Africans in their liberation struggle. And we are very happy to see that Tanzanian people still appreciate this help and assistance that our country provided to your people. And since then, we've been enjoying very good friendly relations, and Russian people keep very good feelings towards Tanzanians. And after 1 year working here, I can surely say that these friendly feelings are absolutely reciprocal from the Tanzanian side.
In what arenas do you think we can strengthen or we can better the relations between Russia and Tanzania?
First of all, I think we can do much better in trade and economic relations, in investment. And I see one of my priorities here to attract more Russian business, more Russian companies and investors to come here. I see a lot of opportunities in agriculture, in natural resources, in energy, in many other areas of economy in Tanzania. Tanzania is a country going up and up in its economic development. And we welcome the openness that the government of President Samia Suluhu Hassan shows towards foreign investment, towards expanding economic relations with other countries.
Now let's widen the scope. Let's widen the scope to Africa. Now, what do you say is the best way forward for the Russian-African relations?
Well, our focus on Africa is for years, and it is not a kind of one event thing. But for the second time in several years, we are going to have a Russia-Africa summit in St. Petersburg in the end of July, and we are expecting heads of states and governments together in Russia in less than 2 months' time to discuss how together to go forward in developing these relations. We don't have our unique plan for Africa. We want to build this plan together with our African friends all over Africa, all 54 countries.
The Russian ambassador to Tanzania talking to my colleague Faida Ngaga. The cooperatives registrar, Dr. Benson Ndiege, says a total of 1 trillion tons of strategic crops, including tobacco, cotton, and cashew nuts, have been sold by cooperatives and contributed 2.9 trillion Tanzanian shillings to the overall national income in 1 year. Dr. Ndiege was in Morogoro addressing 100 cooperative officers from Eastern Zone during special training to the officers on how to improve the operations of the cooperatives. Here's a report prepared by Monica Liampawe, read by Lilua Mohammed.
More than 70% of Tanzanians depend on the agriculture sector as their main economic activity. Here, the Registrar of Cooperatives explains the contribution of the cooperatives to the overall national income.
Kwa mwaka 2021 na 22. In 2021 to 2022 to 2022-2023, a total of 1.009 trillion tons of strategic crops such as tobacco, cocoa, cotton, tea, soya, cashew nuts, and coffee, among others, were sold through cooperative societies, and they contributed to 2.9 trillion shillings.
The Deputy Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Agriculture, Hussein Mohammed, emphasizes that cooperative officials to make relevant changes in their operations to eliminate existing challenges.
We need to figure out how to use the agricultural sector to increase foreign currency. In the past, we were accumulating $1.2 billion US. However, our plan is to accumulate $5 billion US as foreign currency from the agricultural sector by 2030. We also want to produce 3 million employment opportunities from the agricultural sector by 2023. Therefore, you can all see the contribution of agriculture in combating poverty.
Furthermore, the officials are urged to observe the issue of confidentiality.
Kuna tatizo hili la utunzaji wa siri katika shughuli zetu hizi.
There is a problem of lack of confidentiality in our cooperatives. It is very important to maintain confidentiality. I think we should find a way to swear in the leaders.
Mna mambo mengi mbali ya utumishi huu tunaofanya. Tutafurahi kuona.
We will be happy to see strong cooperatives. This will come from your efforts to convince the people to join cooperative societies.
Kwenda kuishawishi jamii kujiunga na ushirika.
The Rukwa Region Acting Mining Officer Abdallah Mwakinginda says research shows that the number of miners with mining licenses has doubled in the region. This follows better understanding amongst the miners on the importance of having license to make their mining activities official in the region. Here's a report by Hosea Cheo, read by Fadhian Gaga.
Rukwa region is one of the regions in the country with all kinds of minerals.
Mkoa wetu tuna madini ya shaba. Tuna almasi katika mkoa huu.
Our region has copper, diamond and ruby minerals. We also have mineral called emerald, which is a little rare to find, and a few businessmen and women have been trying to look for opportunities to invest in this region. The Rukwa region is one of the few regions in this country to have gas minerals that are found in the belt of Lake Rukwa. If we use the opportunity properly, we will open this region nationally and internationally.
Tukitumia fursa vizuri, tunakwenda kufungua mkoa huu kitaifa na kimataifa.
In the past 3 years, the number of licensed miners has doubled in the region.
Vile tunayo leseni za uchimbaji wa kati ambao ni mining license tunazo 2.
We have 2 medium mining licenses and we have 235 small mining licenses so far, although application is still being received, and we also have 21 research licenses.
Unlike other regions with minerals, the awareness of small-scale miners to have mining licenses is increasing in Rukwa region.
Many citizens have gained awareness about mining, which has helped to reduce illegal mining.
The United States Agency for International Development has signed an agreement worth 11.8 billion Tanzanian shillings with the Vodacom Foundation to support the government in the implementation of the M-Mama program, which targets to connect pregnant women with emergency care throughout the country. Here is a report prepared by Gervas Mwatabela, read by Shiduna Said.
Speaking at the event in Dar es Salaam, the Minister of Health of Government of Zanzibar, Nasor Ahmed Mazrui, says that the cooperation between the two institutions will speed up the implementation of maternal and child care services.
Tanzania Foundation and the Government of Tanzania imagine the power of public-private partnership, emphasizing the significance of joining hands to address our nation's most pressing healthcare challenges. Together, we recognize that no single entity can overcome the complexities of healthcare alone. Only through collaboration, unity, and shared purpose can we effectively transform the landscape of healthcare delivery. Mama. That's why it is a mama. Mama is the most important person in this world. Without mama, no world.
The USAID and Vodacom representative asserted that the M-Mama program will enable women in the country to have a healthy life, and they ask for cooperation between the private and the public sectors for the benefit of the people.
To reduce maternal newborn deaths in 2 pilot districts. And together, we've already seen the impact of this partnership. Our collaboration and the leadership of the government of Tanzania in the regions where we piloted this in Sengerema and Shinyanga district hospitals saved lives and made the project a success. Hongereni sana. So I'm very proud to be here today to celebrate the expanded partnership that will go all throughout mainland Tanzania and Zanzibar, a new $15 million alliance that will cover the over 60 million lives of Tanzanian people. So, what does this look like practically, and what did we learn from our pilot? 3 things.
An example of public-private partnership that has transformed the landscape of maternal health care in Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, M-Mama is a practical, sustainable, and scalable solution that works for African rural settings. It is a bespoke partnership between the government of Tanzania, Vodacom Tanzania Foundation, and development partners like USAID, addressing a real and pressing societal challenge. Since its official launch in March 2022, we are live in 11 regions in the mainland and all across all isles in Zanzibar. I can confirm as of this morning, we have 23,204 emergency transportations that have been done within this 1 year.
The M-Mama system began its pilot in Sengerema Buchosa district in the Shinyanga region, and it succeeded to reduce maternal death by 38% in the Shinyanga region alone.
As you may be aware, a Tanzanian teen, Zamana, has won Amal Clooney Women's Empowerment Award in London for her efforts to support girls' education. The annual awards recognize young women who have succeeded against the odds, improved their chances in life, and had a positive impact on their local community. Yesterday, Zamana met with King Charles III during a reception at Buckingham Palace to celebrate the winners' achievements. Founded by the King, Prince Trust International supports people across 18 countries through employment, education, and enterprise programs. We congratulate Zamana for the achievement. Before we wind up our local news tonight, let us now have a look on today's exchange rates according to the Bank of Tanzania. Don't miss TBC News every weekday to know all the latest in exchange rates. Time now for all the latest in international news. And here is international news with Faida Ngaga.
People had to shelter under trees after the Shabelle River burst its banks. The United Nations is warning that the floodwaters could also hit Bulaburde town. According to Somalian government officials, heavy downpours in Somalia and upstream in the Ethiopian highlands triggered flash floods that washed away homes, crops, and livestock. 9 people have been killed and several are missing after heavy rains caused flooding in Italy's northern Emilia-Romagna region. Reports say about 13,000 people have been evacuated and some had to be rescued from roofs by helicopter. The authorities say 20 rivers have broken their banks, flooding 23 towns. Further rain is expected in the region over the coming days. China's President Xi Jinping is hosting the leaders of 5 Central Asian nations. Discussions are focused on energy and food security. Meanwhile, in Japan, leaders of G7 group are expected to meet in Hiroshima. War in Ukraine, trade and security in Asia Pacific are expected to top the agenda.
That was international news. The sports news is up next. And in sports, President Dr. Samia Suluhu Hassan says the government will provide a flight for Young Africans team and supporters for their second leg CAF Confederation Cup final match against USM Alger to be played in Algeria on 3rd June. President Dr. Samia, furthermore, she has announced to double her motivation package to 20 million Tanzanian shillings motivation for the players.
As we go for the finals, 20 million will be awarded for the win of the team. This 20 million will not be awarded when the team loses for 2-1. All goals scored should give the team victory. Then each goal will be awarded 20 million Tanzania shillings. More than that, the government will provide flight to send the team for the final match.
Serikali itatoa ndege kuwapeleka katika mchezo wa fainali.
Young Africans has reached the CAF Confederation Cup final after crashing out Marumo Gallants by 2-0 in a return leg match played in South Africa. Young Africans welcomes USM Alger for the first leg match on 28th May at Benjamin Mkapa Stadium in Dar es Salaam before they play the second leg match in Algeria on June the 3rd. Tanzanian artists have been urged to produce artworks that will help to increase awareness against moral degradation in their society. Speaking during the opening of a gender desk at Institution of Arts and Culture in Bagamoyo, Tasuba, Irene Mashine, who is an activist on moral issues, calls on artists to produce quality artworks that will send a message to reduce moral decay.
The decline of ethics in our society has been increasing day by day. We tend to forget our norms and traditions. That's why the government have instructed institutions to introduce gender desk. So use the desk effectively, but also as the artists make sure that you educate society through your work.
The government has instructed education institutions in the country to establish gender desks to tackle gender issues in the education setup. And that's the sports news. Before we conclude the news bulletin tonight, let's take a look at the weather forecast.
Hello viewers, welcome to the next 24 hours weather forecast from Tanzania Meteorological Authority. My name is Margaret Masawe. Wind is expected to flow at the speed of 20 kilometers per hour over the entire coast, Lake Victoria, Lake Tanganyika and Lake Nyasa. The state of the sea is expected to be moderate. Rainfall signals are still seen in few areas of the country, while the largest part of the country is expected to be dry. And tonight we expect partly cloudy and thunder showers over Kagera and Mara. The rest parts of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy condition. Tomorrow we expect partly cloudy condition and thunder showers over Lake Victoria Basin. Northeastern Highland and northern coast are expected to feature partly cloudy condition, light rain showers over a few areas and sun periods. The rest parts of the country are expected to feature partly cloudy condition and longer sun periods. Now let us see the next 4 days weather forecast for some regions of the country. From Tanzania Meteorological Authority, we thank you for watching us.
And that marks the end of the news bulletin tonight. Don't miss our next bulletin in the Kiswahili at 11 p.m. I am Nasa Kingu. Good night.